I'm Kathy from Absolutely Fabulous, and today we're going to talk about the difference between a colander and a strainer. Here at the store we get asked a lot if we're carrying colanders. People come in, they ask if we've got colanders, and we show them what we think is a colander, and they say, no, I want the other thing, the thing with the mesh. So basically, the difference between a colander and a strainer is a colander has larger holes, usually has a base that sits down, and it's used to either wash things clean. For instance, if I've been out in the garden and I'm picking peas and beans or carrots or something, and I want to come in and wash them all off, I need big holes so the water is going to carry the dirt right through. I don't want the vegetables or the fruit or anything I'm washing to sit in the water. I want it to carry the dirt through while I'm doing it. Or pastas, things that I'm not going to keep the water from or I want it to rinse through. Larger holes, a bigger base, and they come in a variety of sizes and finishes. The stainless steel heavy duty is one that probably we're most familiar with. Pretty little enameled ones came out last year. It's sort of a retro look. Small one, excellent for berries or smaller fruits and vegetables. And then little stainless steel ones, same thing. Most important thing is make sure there are holes in the bottom, because it is going to sit down, and if it doesn't have holes in the bottom and they're only on the sides, the water is actually going to pool. When you go to dump your fruit and vegetables out, you're going to get a fair amount of water. Colander doesn't always have to be big. There's a whole line out there of silicone colanders that collapse. Again, holes all the way through, fairly large. Nice handle on this one, so if you were looking for something that you wanted to hold with one hand while you're pouring, or you want to rinse a little more vigorously, and then it just packs up, very small to go away. And then there's something called the scoop colander, very similar. So this would be for getting, say if you were, peas or carrots or something out of the water, chopped up peas and carrots, and you want to quickly get them out to serve them. Larger holes, but not so small or not so large that the vegetables or fruit scoop out. And then it just packs away thin as well, because you don't always need these things sitting out. Strainer. Typically when you're straining something, you want to preserve the liquid. Think about making soup stock or gravy, where you want to actually strain the liquid through, and it's the stuff that's in here that you aren't necessarily going to save, or you're going to go through it, like for a turkey stock. If you had cooked a turkey and you put the bones and the skin and everything in a pot, you're going to strain it through. It's the broth that you want, the stock, and the rest of it you're going to go through, pull out the meat, and discard the bones and fat and skin. So you want a very fine mesh, because you don't want little particles to go through. Most chefs are going to look for the clearest of stock. They're going to look for something even finer than this. They're going to go to a double mesh, which is usually in your handheld, and a double mesh is your finest. Jams or jellies are another time you might use this, because you don't want the seeds and you don't want the flesh. You want a nice clear jelly, think raspberries or black currants. And you may even line this with cheesecloth to get it even finer, but you don't want any of the solid passing through. You only want the liquid. If you've made a gravy and you've got lumps in your gravy, you want all the gravy, but you don't know how to get rid of the lumps. Strain it through here, and you might even be able to press through the flour or the cornstarch, whatever it caused your lumps, so that you can continue to cook with it. Little colanders. Some of them come down in a nice V, so that as you're putting something in here, it comes down and drips into a very fine point. So tea. If you were I make a chai tea, and I use my chai tea syrup, and I use cinnamon sticks and cloves and anise and all kinds of things, and I want the liquid to come down to a very fine point, because I want to pour it into a bottle or strain it into a bottle. This is a tea strainer, or it could be used as a tea strainer. That's one purpose, because you're not going to have this many tea leaves coming out of your teapot. You're going to have this many, a couple of tablespoons. You'll notice most of these have a point at one end and a handle, so that they're designed to hook across a saucepan or a bowl. Your larger strainers are going to have feet, so that you can sit them down, possibly in another pot, or arms, so that they're suspended so the liquid strains through. So essentially that's the difference. In most cases, a strainer, you're going to keep the liquid and discard possibly whatever's inside it. In a colander, it's the liquid you're going to get rid of, and you're keeping what's ever in the colander. Both are pretty much kitchen essentials. One cannot always be used for the other, and so if storage is an issue, think skinny colanders. Thank you.